Welcome to the next room. Yeah. Welcome to the next room. From the field on my way to the next room. Welcome to the next room.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Next Row. Today, I have a very special guest, producer, director, creator, Mr. Deon Taylor.
Hey, too much. That's too much. That's too much.
Hey, D, man, look, man, I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you for coming on, man. It's an honor to have you. With everything that you're doing. I mean, tell us, man, how you feel? What's going on? Anything new in your life? What's going on?
Man, well,
Besides making
first
the
of all,
movies, I know it's always something new, but you got any highlights for us?
man, first of all, congratulations on the show. That's number one. I love what you're doing, man. It's been incredible to watch you. And I also just want to add before I talk about myself, I also want to add, man, I'm really, really proud of you based on the fact that you are going to next chapters in your life. Like it's very, very incredible to see someone have a career the way you had it, but then to also understand that didn't define you. So to now see you acting, doing movies, making podcasts, becoming media, bro, I'm just telling you, this is the future for us. So to see you leading the way that way is inspiring, and it's motivating, and it's really great. So
Yeah,
that's
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And you know what? I just appreciate the relationship with you, man. And I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. Like knowing people like you, I know a lot of people probably come to you and they got their hand out. You know what I mean? But for me, it's more about the relationship. You know, if it leads to something, it leads to something. But I never go to people with handouts because I know the essence of hard work and dedication. Plus, being consistent is something. If you consist, just like you know, you were consistent after leaving college, and you had dreams and aspirations of doing everything you're doing. You grew up in Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
GI,
I want
man.
man, Gary, Indiana was once the murder capital back in the 90s, right? So I can only imagine what you had to go through and what you had to fight to get to where you are today. But are there any lessons you took from that environment and brought to where you are right now?
I mean, everything. Everything I've learned has been from where I came from and through my mother. You know, I was raised with a single family home, man. My mom, born and raised Gary, Indiana. You know, we're fourth generation Gary, Indiana. But yeah, man, what you learn when you're coming from places like that is number one, family is everything. Number two, you really understand how blessed you are just to have a home and a place to be and somebody giving you information about life. Yeah, man, those are the building blocks of what I am now doing, which is, leading with intention, understanding how blessed I am to be in a position to do what I'm doing, because a lot of people didn't make it home. You know, a lot of people in my family locked up, a lot of people killed, a lot of people got shot, gun violence, gang violence, just life, and you learn that at an early age when you come from where I've come from. But you also understand the power of God, and you understand what it means, man, to have faith, and there were times in my life growing up, and that's why I applied to Hollywood now. I just be like, man, that's cool. Like you could tell me no, you could tell me I don't care. You could not want to deal with me. It doesn't matter, man. I came from a place, bro, where we was, heating the house with the oven. Where mom would, for whatever reason, the lights or the power's out, and she'd be like, I get it done. And 2 days later, the lights back on. I don't know how, what happened, what she was able to do with her money or check, but it's like you just got a belief and you understand everything's gonna be all right. And that's life. So when we get opportunities like this to go play basketball overseas and see the world doing something like that, like loving the game, or get a chance to be on a movie set later in our lives, man, this is stuff that we dreamed about, that we seen, you know what I mean, that we visualized, but there was never anything that you could touch that was real. It was all here. So when we're in these spaces now, I just always remember, man, what Gary taught me, what I understood about that town, why I still go back, do stuff with Markel and the team back there and the mayor and all the, it's like, this is why I am who I am today, is because of what that place did for me.
That's powerful. And I know you talked about like heating the house with the oven. Did you ever put the fan in the window and take a shower when they go stand in front of the fan in the summertime?
Boy, you crazy as hell. We had the fan in the window. I don't know if I got out the shower and stood in front of it though, but that's you you done went off script.
Oh man. Hey D, I know those times, man. I know how crazy those times can be, man, when you grow up like that because you had your experiences, I had mine, and I'm sure there's a lot of similarities that we can take from them. But
Yeah.
but we're here now. Basketball. You play basketball. That was your first passion. You played at San Diego State. Can you tell us about some of the things that you were able to take with you from basketball that shaped your mindset as a filmmaker?
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. It's funny, man. We're asking these questions about our lives and like where we come from, and then what we ended up doing, and you know, these are the lessons for us as men, black men in America. Believe it or not, man, these are things that have molded us. The game of basketball became my father for a very long time, meaning that it was the thing that took me around the world. It was the thing that took me, when you was in gear, you got to go here, you got to go to Chicago, you got to go to the other part of Indiana. When I got to California to play my last year or two in high school, it was the first time I seen California was for basketball. You know what I mean? And then it has been the ticket that has taken me around the world. But more importantly, what sports has done for me was it taught me all the things that I needed to know as a young black man growing up wild and trying to figure it out on my own. Discipline, teamwork, commitment, um, um, you know, holding your head up when everything is wrong, outworking somebody. You know what I mean? All those things are what goes into your mind, man, when I'm in this space of Hollywood. So I'm running my own race, but I'm competing. And in this space, you have to understand I'm trying to make a movie. Guess what you need to make a movie? You need a team of people that believe. We're trying to play against Hollywood. So we're trying to figure out how to get into business. So we got to know we're going to take losses. We know we're going to come up short. We might not be good enough right now, but we got to get better. It's like all those things happen to you, man, through sports where you're like, you tell me, no, I'm not going to go over here and cry. I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to work harder at it. You know what I mean? I'm missing jump shots, so I got to work on my jumper a little bit better. It's no different from film. And I think that's why I heard this interview recently with Ryan Coogler talking about sports. And I was just like, the whole time Ryan was talking about sports, I was like nod my head like a bobble, because I'm like, yo, it's real. It's real. I think us as athletes see this playing field of Hollywood completely different. Look at you. You're meeting people that have been in this space 20 plus years who's like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out how I could get in the movie, man. I gotta. And you like, bro, I did 30 movies. You know what I mean? How did you do that? Because you waking up every day and you're really attacking and manifesting what it is you want to have happen in your life. I believe that we're able as athletes to manifest results. I believe as people that come from the inner city, we're able to see things and manifest those things when we really are passionate about them. Some people call it passion. I call it manifestation. I feel like your passion is driving you to whatever it is that you see and you visualize for yourself. And so I think sports for me was everything, man. And then you also realize, man, like, a lot of people that play with me know at the time how nice I was. Yeah. but but at the same time, it's like the thing that did not allow me to make it in my heart of hearts was, number one, I felt like there were things I was lacking in my game that I was never honest with myself about, number one. And number two, it was information. I never was able to have the right people around me to say, yo, man, you should do it like this, or no, bro, you should go to that school, or you should do this. Those are things that I'm now educating my son on. Like, oh man, I made two wrong decisions right here because I didn't know any information. Now I know the information. So now I'm going to apply it to my son so he could actually have that information. chances are for someone like yourself who's so amazing and prolific at the sport of football, somebody probably grabs you at an early age as a coach, or someone who knew what the league looked like was able to say, Vernon, you special. Here, let me show you what these couple things are we got to do to get you here. Do you know what I mean? And that's priceless. That you can never buy that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what about the leadership qualities that you've taken from sports? Are there any similarities? What are the parallels between the leadership qualities in sports um, as it relates to what you're doing now, leading a crew of people to create this project?
It's great, man. I mean, look, I've one of the things I'm also showing my son. It's funny, I keep bringing him up because I'm so proud of my kids, man. They're all doing so great. My daughter, my little boy's a soccer player. My 12-year-old's like, he's extremely talented at basketball. And I'm telling him, everybody knows I have a big mouth. I'm screaming, I'm yelling all the time. I'm like, man, go over here and do that. So basketball, I was always a vocal leader. What you learn in the game is talking and communicating on a court, speaking so other people can hear what you're saying, actually is about 10% of helping you win games, right? If not more. Pick, screen. Oh man, they going left. Come on, everybody. And that playing football. People don't hear it on the TV, but guys are out there screaming. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they called this, they got that, whatever. And it's like, so understanding that from basketball, that leadership is not just about talking or being vocal. It's about actually doing. I want you to see me do it. And then hopefully you will follow what I'm doing, and I'm being vocal about what I'm doing. So film is the same way, because it took me a long time to realize I'm leading people into a space, and I'm asking people to follow me into a space. People like my wife, my friends, my investors, the people that believe in me creatively. I'm asking them to please follow me in doing this movie or this film or this idea, knowing that I'm the only one that can see the vision of it. Now, for a lot of people, that might not make sense, but for me, it makes a lot of sense, because now, guess what? You're actually playing with people's lives with your vision. So you have to be responsible for that. You can't be chaotic and wild and we just trying to do this, and people didn't quit their jobs, you know what I mean, trying to work with you, or they didn't believe in something so much to where they feel like, man, are you really doing it? And then I'll wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I don't really want to do that. So basketball and sports and leadership is about running into the house first, running into the fire first, right? Knowing that I'm going this way and this is what I'm going to do, and I can see it, y'all. I just need y'all to come with me, man. You know what I mean? We down by 7. It's 40 seconds left. I know we can get a 3 and a steal. You know what I mean? It's like, I know we can do it. And that's what leadership is about. Not dropping your head, not saying it's over. It's never over, bro, until it's over. You know what I mean? So I think that's what sports have also taught me.
No, that's big, man. That's huge. And I can attest to that too, because I had to go from being a young, immature kid to growing to being this guy that could lead the team. And that's what they paid me the big bucks for. That's why they brought me in as a first round draft pick, not to just be a dynamic football player, but to be a leader to lead this team.
That's
And
right.
so I applaud you for dropping those gems. If Hollywood had a pickup basketball team, a pickup basketball league, which actors and directors would you draft?
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's tough. I mean, like, guys that could really play?
I mean, it could be. Think of it like this. Think of it from a creative standpoint. The actors and directors who are the most creative people in the game, right? Like, as far as what they're bringing to the screen, you can think of it like that, not based on their athletic ability, but what they bring as far as the dynamic of their creative process.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's okay. So in a different perspective, because there's some guys out here that could really hoop. Like, there's some guys that could really go. A couple guys I played with out here, I'm like, yo, you all right, man. You know what I mean? Like, can really, really play. So I was like, let me think of what my 5 would be. But in
Give me
terms,
that then. All right, so no, give me that one. Give me that one. The ones that can actually play.
oh man, it's a few of it's more than 5, but I would oh that I've played with that I'm like, oh man, you all right.
Give me two.
Corey
Give me two
Hardick.
of who are the
Corey
two that you
Hardick.
would.
Corey Hardick is nice. Chicago kid, can really, really go. The actor Bentley Green, cold. He young though. He cold. Jamie Foxx can play. Jamie can play. Jamie got the jump shot, man, and he got a different mind. He's a hell of an athlete, and he's super intellectual on the court. But I like playing with him because he gonna knock the shot down. He gonna play some D, and he gonna get up. He gonna get up in you, make it different. So I like him. I would also say, there was a thing called the NBA Entertainment League a long time ago that was out here that was great. Like the NBA put on this thing and had a bunch of people come play. Um, During that time on my team was Flex Alexander. He was nice, man. Like he don't pass. I ain't seen Flex in a while, but Flex could actually play really well, man. So that's a couple guys that I would just throw out there. Just there's a lot of guys. The producer Tank and Morris Chestnut and Jay Valentine, all those guys are good hoopers. I don't see those guys much more, but that one time I was like, yo, these guys can really hoop, man. But in terms of what we're talking about spiritually wise, in terms of film, that's an eclectic bunch that I would think about would have to be, God rest his soul, but it would be John Singleton would be one. Just because John, there's something about him. He was one of the people that I was able to meet with as an early director when I was doing this independently in a real way. That was the first person to kind of say, hey, keep doing that independently, man, because this shit in here that we dealing with to make movies, that ain't it. And I didn't understand at the time what he meant, because I was really trying to figure out, how do I get into Hollywood and make movies? Like, how do I? And he was going, no, stay over there on that side and make the movies you're making. I'm going like, no, but I want to get in here. He's like, no, keep doing what you're doing. And I remember that to this day. I'm like, damn, he knew, because he had been through the system. He had understood what it meant to be Black in this space asking to make a movie versus giving yourself permission, which is what me and you are doing. Do you know what I mean? So John was a massive, would be one of my first players. Although we don't have a relationship like that, I would absolutely go with Ryan. I think he is phenomenal. I think there's a lot of the same similarities that we have in terms of sports, background, culture, like understanding what it means for our people to be in film and be behind the cameras, in front of the cameras. I think he's excellent, bro. I think he is going to be one of the best to ever do it. I would also pick, I would go across the board to Robert Rodriguez. Um, I think Robert is phenomenal. And I think the way that he was able to build his world, and the way he came in independently and owned himself and made his own studio, and then was able to get into a space where him and Quentin Tarantino became partners. And, this is a guy that took an independent lane, but also merged it into the intersection of Hollywood in a real way. So I really would, I would pick Robert Rodriguez. And then I think, is that 3 or is that 4? I'm trying to give you 5.
Hey, that's no, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. One more.
I'll give you one more.
Give me one more. No, it's tough.
I'm trying to think, because I want to make sure I get like somebody that's really, really good. We need a center. we need a center. We need somebody that can rebound and dunk on people. My 5, man, this is a great question. It's a really great question.
That's something you can think about, D. That's something you can think about. Let me get.
I'll tell you who else I would pick. I would go with 2 athletes, and one would be, I'm gonna get a 5 and a 6. I would go with 2 athletes. One would be you, right? And the other would probably be Matt Barnes. Because
Uh,
although you guys are not filmmakers, you guys make content and make movies at times when you, right? And you act and you do all these things. But I love that you guys have bust down the door and done something creative as content creators, where it's film, podcast, television, appearances, sports related. I just love the vertical that Matt Barnes and people like him and you are doing, and even Vernon Davis, right? Where it's like, no, man, we're going to get out here and we're not going to be defined by what we are. We're going to be defined by what we see and what we want to do. And if I was picking people like that for my team, it would be just as weird as I am. I would be like, yeah, I got those guys too, the athlete. So I would pick you and Matt. I think you guys would be fantastic on the squad.
no, I appreciate that, man. That's big. That's a nice lineup, man. I like it. I like it a lot. And I
Yeah,
know a lot
man,
of people
even though we got
like,
six.
oh man, I didn't know these dudes can play like that. That's crazy.
Right.
But that's cool. So take us to the Hidden Empire Film Group, right? Everyone needs to know. Like a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people know you're huge at what you do. You know what I mean? Everyone knows you. You know, you're a likable guy. You created a lane for yourself and for others. Tell us, like, you started off writing scripts, and then you went to creating your own company. Like, was there a
Yeah.
turning point where you sat down and you said, I can really do this?
I think that
Like, what made you believe that you could do this full time? I mean, because you're a basketball player.
yeah, I think, man, what's interesting is I was just telling you earlier, man, it's like something in me, man. I was playing in East Germany. I was playing basketball and I was sitting there in the snow in the middle of a place I had never been before in my life. And, after you work out, man, you got the rest of the day to be in the house, And I remember watching movies, and film had always been like the thing that turned me on. Like I like coming from where I came from. Movies was like the way that we escaped the madness. Movies was like the way that we got to see something different. The way we learn things was through film. And I just remember having an idea around a movie. I was like, man, I got this idea. And I started watching as many movies as I could watch. And something started burning in me. And now that I look back on it, man, I'm just telling you, man, this is why I talk to a lot of kids. That was God that was talking to me and saying, there's something else you can do. There's another world, Deon. It doesn't start and end with you making it as a pro athlete. It doesn't, this is not all that you can be. And at the time, that's all that I wanted to be. That's all that I was. I was getting paid to play basketball. Do you know what I mean? But I was like, man, it just grabbed me. And nothing had ever grabbed me like basketball had grabbed me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, and I was excited, man. Like, how do you do it? Like, what do you do? I don't know shit. And that's why I said, this is where it goes back to the understanding that we are everybody you possibly meet. 90% of the people you're going to meet, like that's doing what we're doing right now, that's out there thinking about doing something different. They're going to be first generation, whatever that is. My mom never touched the camera. My dad never touched the camera. Nobody I knew was a producer or a director, or my homie wasn't a writer. I'm the first person to be like, bro, that's crazy. If you could write a script and then go do a thing. And so what drove me, man, was that I had faith and I believed that I could do it. That was it. It was just a simple idea that I believed I could do it. And I was operating at a time which now I have found more power in what I'm going to tell you. I was operating in a time where I wasn't afraid to try. I wasn't afraid to take a step out and people laugh at me because I was trying to do something different. But they was like, bro, you ain't no damn director. You ain't no writer. Like, what you talking about, man? Get out of here, man. This nigga crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro, I really think I can do this. And that's a fear, and that's something that they bestow on us, and people bestow on us every day. They push their energy into you, and you like, oh, man, oh man, I can't do that because they can't do it. And here's the thing, how are we listening to people tell us something we can't do or something we're trying to do when they ain't never did it? And that was for me was I was like, I'm gonna try this, man, and I'm gonna go at it. And I'm just crazy enough to do it, man. And I stepped in 1,000 landmines, got blew up 1,000,000 times, learned that everybody ain't right for you, learned that everywhere you go, everybody can't go, learned that there are certain people that they hit their limits and you can't pull them with you here and there. And all these things that happen, learn that there's great people that just need to be friends and not business people. You know what I mean? All these things that you learn, man, is when you're in these chapters trying to figure it out. And then eventually, man, if your heart is right and your intention is right and you're not trying to hurt other people or do nothing bad, God will keep making you go to the top. He'll keep allowing you to make these things be lessons that you learn, and he will allow you to keep moving forward. Now, if your intention is wrong and you, oh man, you did this to that person, you did, and you were purposely trying to hurt people and do that, oh man, your ass done. You know what I mean? So there's been 1,000,000 times where I've been in situations where I'm like, damn, man, this is not how this is supposed to be. Or damn, that wasn't supposed to be like that. And God be like, all right, you got your lesson, right? Okay, now go that way. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna just keep going. And then you wake up, man, you're sitting there, you're like, wow, I got a company worth a couple $100 million. I own all my movies. I'm starting new relationships and new businesses, and you just fall on your knees, man. You go, Jesus, I don't even know how I got here. But God, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep listening. So blind faith.
Wow. That's amazing, man. You're a humble dude, man. I've spent time with you and I watched you and you're just a humble dude. Look, the NFL has a program. The NFL, they are big when it comes to vetting people and choosing people that they want to work with. But I've witnessed you created a program. Y'all created a program together. You bring in these athletes and you're teaching them everything from directing, producing to acting, anything that has to do with creating when it comes to films, things of that nature. They chose you. Give us a little bit about that program that you're doing with the NFL, D. Like a lot of people need to know this.
Yeah, the NFL, my brother played in the NFL for 13 seasons. I was a basketball player. He was a football player. We're not blood related, but my mom raised both of us. Everybody in my life has been some form of athlete. You know, I remember being in San Diego State and Marshall Faulk and Kyle Turley and, you know, Leroy Glover. And like, I remember just like understanding the world, and athletes always emit other athletes. We just stay in a circle some type of way. And there was a time during the first opening of my world as a filmmaker, there were athletes that backed me and got behind me and believed in me. You know, Ray Crockett was one of the first people to ever believe in me and give me an opportunity and invest in me. You know, Sam Cassell was one of the first people to ever believe in me and invest in me. You know, along with, you know, Robert Smith and my brother. My brother was the first person to ever give me $1. You know what I mean? With the NFL, what I found is over the course of the last 14, 15 years, I found that as I became more proficient at what I do as film, I found that I was explaining to a lot of people that look like us that were athletes, how do you start your own business? What do you do? How do you get into this? Because I bumped my head 1,000,000 times, went through 1,000 things. How do I make sure you don't go through what I went through to make a movie? And that became me more as being a teacher than anything else. And we got so good at this and built so many programs with so many different people that are now partners of mine across the board that the NFL and I had a conversation was like, man, Deon, would you be open to teaching our players and educating them on how this works? And I'm like, absolutely. And this was after they've tried multiple Fortune 500 companies. I'm sure you've been there. And I was like, man, I think I could do a better job than all of those companies because we do everything from top to bottom. And here we are now going into year 6. And we have now probably educated over 300 players through the NFL. We've had around 50 of these guys graduate through our program, and a bunch of them now writing on TV, a bunch of guys doing commercials, a bunch of guys doing what they're doing. And, it's just amazing, man. It's amazing for me to meet someone like DK Metcalf for the first time and see how amazing he is as an actor and be like, damn, bro, you can really do this. And then to see him on his own spirit, his own energy pop up and be, in commercials and, on television shows. I'm like, yo, this is wild. See you. You know what I mean? You sit in the front like this. And then I'm like, yo, Vernon out here going crazy as an actor. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, man, this is what it is, man. This is us. This is what I was saying before. This is about us giving each other information. This is not about me. Let me get something from you if I tell you something. This is why we've been stuck as a people for so long. It's because they was telling us, Vernon, when we was kids, the game is to be sold, not told. And that's BS, bro. How I'm going to get better if you don't tell me what the game is? So we've been stuck. Meanwhile, every other race of people is giving the game to the kids, giving the game to their people. And we sit up here like, man, no, that one dude that's in position, like, nah, don't tell him nothing because it's me. It's about me right now. No, it's not about you, bro. It's about us as a people and us going to the next level as a people. So you got to unlock the book, bro, and tell us what that is. So if I know how to get into the film space, I know how to tell you how to get a headshot, how to get into a movie, how to make your own film, the things you're not supposed to do to get your ass sued or messed up. That's what I'm going to tell you so you can go do it. And that's what I learned. And that's what's been so great about this program. And now we're doing it with the NBA, which is amazing. So I really love it, man. And it gives everybody a chance to come in here, make their own movies in a week, create their own vibe, learn a little bit more. And you'll be surprised how great it is for guys that have made $50 million, $60 million, that they team not even telling them one thing to do on how to build their own business. And I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So we stopping that and building that for our people. And now with us doing what we're doing, there's so many more that's building. It could be bigger than just Peyton Manning and Omaha. Now we need, you know what I mean? Now it's like, no, that's great. They lined that up for him. They lined that up for Tom Brady. They lined it up for these guys. Now we want to make sure that we line it up for some of our guys as well that have been just as legendary, just as great, to be able to have their own companies and build their own brands the same way that these guys have been able to do it as well. So that's what we're kind of representing, man, is that even if you're not able to be as big as those guys are, if you're the guy that made $2 million, $500,000, you're just as good to learn the information as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know you mentioned Sam Cassell. Shout out to Sam Cassell. I just ran into him a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Good brother right there. You tackled everything from socially charged dramas to thrillers and comedies. Like, what's your approach with these genres? Do you see them? I mean, do you approach them differently? Are they all connected?
They're all connected. And I'll tell you how they're all connected. They're connected because hold on one second. They're all connected based on the fact that the way I view film is I'm probably one of the only Black directors in Hollywood, in whatever space you want to think about, that has jumped genres in film successfully. Now, I'm not a studio guy. I haven't made 100 movies with studios. Like I haven't been blessed in that way to go and be, oh, he made 4, that movie cost $50 million, that movie cost $80 million. When I say what I'm saying I'm making the movies for a price, and they have all been successful. Now, I'm also saying that Black and Blue with Dante Spinotti and Oscar-nominated Naomi Harris and Tyrese, and Fatal, Michael Ealy, and 2-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank, who I love, right, is completely different than my Meet the Blacks with Mike Epps and Cat Williams. And right, these are genres. And those are completely different than The Intruder with Dennis Quaid and Megan Good. And so what makes me able to jump those genres is I truly believe as a director, it doesn't matter what genre you're playing in. As long as your storyline as a filmmaker and what you're after is all the same. My why in every movie is someone has to overcome adversity. That's my thing. So in Traffic, Paula Patton sees something, is in the middle of something, and has to overcome it. Human trafficking. In Black and Blue, Naomi Harris sees something, cop kill another cop, has to go against the blue line, overcome it, and beat it. Right? The Intruder. Argue what this is better. Meet the Blacks. Meet the Blacks. Mike Epps. Mike Epps is so great. One of the first people to jump in with me and be like, "Dude, come on, let's do it." Mike Epps. Meet the Blacks. What does he do? He lies to his family, hustles some money, moves, and then he's living with this big lie, right? All of a sudden, the purge happens. Everyone's coming to get their money back. Guess what he has to do? He has to overcome the lie, overcome the adversity of people purging him, be right with himself, and understand that the best thing that has happened to him in his life and what he's learning is his family, not money. Overcoming obstacles. So I believe that everything that I look at, I see it that way. You know, even right now with like Don't Open the Door that I'm getting ready to build, which will probably be one of the best movies I've ever made, as well as me rebooting Blackula. You know what I mean? This is now the second chapter for me as a director. I feel like those smaller films, I've cut my teeth on them. They've been very successful. My producing partner, Roxanne, has become a genius in that space. So we took 5 years away from cinema, worked on documentaries, and now when we come back, this time it's about now our next chapter of how we make our movies and what those movies are about.
That's awesome. That's amazing. D, between Hilary Swank and Mike Epps, who made you laugh the most?
Mike Epps. Man, listen. Mike, I can sit here on a Zoom for an hour and talk about Mike. Mike is just naturally gifted, man. And he has such an amazing story. And people don't know, a lot like Richard Pryor, Mike's comedy comes from pain. It comes from adversity. It comes from life. And that's what I believe makes him so authentically great. Do you know what I mean? And it's no different than if I was here to talk about Cat Williams. You know, I think I might be one of the only directors in the world, me and somebody else, maybe DJ Pooh. I don't know who directed the F. Gary Gray, but one of the only people to put Mike and Cat together. Those two guys seamlessly are two of the greatest souls you could meet. You know, people don't know, like Cat, man, Cat is so phenomenal, how he approaches things, how he looks at things, how he looks at life. He's a philosopher. He's an artist. Outside of the comedy, you can sit and talk to him and converse with him and never crack a joke and be like, wow, I didn't really realize that or know that. But it's God gave him a gift that allows him to be able to stand on the stage and give you this energy and make you laugh about things that you know is real. And so I think I'm just saying that in context to where I think Hilary Swank, Mike Epps, I think Mike Epps number one, right? Hilary Swank is one of my favorites based on the fact that me and her have a great relationship, and her little babies happen to be, I'm the godfather to her babies. So we have a very kind relationship and a very special relationship based on the fact that I really like her creatively and I like what she's about as a person. And she's one of the other people that in my life has come in and said, man, pick up the phone after a movie, say, how you doing? You know what I mean? How's the family doing? You guys all right? That's very rare to find that in this business, you know?
Wow, that's awesome. Did I ever tell you, D, when I was a kid, every time I come downstairs, I used to see this guy in the living room, but I didn't know who he was? Guess who it was?
Who was it?
He was there all the time. Tommy Davis.
Who?
Tommy
No
Davis.
way. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Tommy's
man. Yeah, man. He and my uncle were best friends, so he used to be in my house all the time. I didn't realize till I got older. I was like, man, that's Tommy Davis in my living room. Like, you know.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Are you serious?
Yeah, funny guy. Funny guy.
I mean,
yeah,
not
funny
just
guy,
funny, like arguably legendary, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that's one of the things that I say that with a real tone to my voice when I say that, based on the fact that man, it comes time, bro. We gotta make sure we know, and we gotta be the next generation now, the generation to make sure people know, no, bro, Tommy is a legend. You know what I mean? Like this is real, man, because everybody else is doing it. Oh man, that's oh, that's him. Oh, he was like, no, man, it's our turn. Like Tommy and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and it's imperative, man, that we start holding these people up and saying their names and making sure people know what their contribution was to us. You know what I mean? Over and over again.
No, that's excellent. I want to remind everyone right now that they can have every episode sent to their phone automatically. This one and every one I've done. All you have to do is click that little follow button right there on Apple and Spotify, and follow us on YouTube as well. D, we're getting close to the end. A few more questions for you. As a former athlete, what keeps you competitive in this space, man? I mean, you're not stopping. You're like a machine. Like you just talked about the projects that you're doing now, the stuff that you're doing with the NFL. Like you're just going and going and going. What keeps you motivated?
Just my family right now, man. I mean, it's always been about my family. And like I said, it's a little, I think I got a little PTSD from life, not um, having to work hard my entire life, having, now my mom on my shoulder as my angel, hearing her, my mom was the mom that I can't count how many times had the gun in the Crown Royal bag and pulled the car up on the park and had the lights on so I could shoot at night. That's my mom. And her belief in me at times where I didn't even believe myself, bro. You know what I mean? Like her, like, nah, baby, you could do it. He ain't that good. You could. And I'm like, Ma, this dude good. Like, she like, if you don't get your, like, that energy, man, seeing her fight for me, seeing her struggle for me, seeing her take her last money, bro, and buy me a pair of Jordans. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about no more. You know what I mean? Being respectful of her kids enough and for me enough to not let me see BS. So a lot of me is in her, man, where I'm like, I'm not playing them games with nobody. That's what's driving me right now, man. You're not finna stop me, bro. I done came through too much. I done been through too much for anybody in this world to believe they can stop me. Man, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, man, go ahead, man. But boy, you don't get out of here with a no. You don't get out of here with a maybe. If you don't get out of here with a I don't think you good enough, boy, you better ask yourself a different question, because this life, man, we done been through, man, and seen my mom didn't get enough, bro. She didn't get enough. And I feel that when I wake up and I look at my kids and I'll be damn, man, if I'm y'all gonna go through a fraction of what I went through. And that was by design that my mom went through those things. You know what I mean? That was by design that the liquor store was there. That was by design that we couldn't get a loan. That was by design that she couldn't get a job. That was by design that she couldn't start her own company. So a lot of this is me going like, no, by design, I'm going to break the design and make my own. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. And that's my headspace. And I take that with me every morning. And I look for allies. It don't matter if you black or white. I'm trying to work with anybody that's like-minded. Trying to find anybody that believes in what I believe in. I think we get off on this tangent, man, where people believe that, oh, man, it's just us because we black. No, man, I know a lot of black people that don't want to see us win. You know what I mean? You got to be real with yourself and understand everybody can't go and define like-minded people that could get you there.
Wow, that's powerful. That is extremely powerful, man. I don't know what to say about that, but let me continue, because I know you got to get off in a second. What's the dream project that you haven't made that you want to make? Something that you thought about and you just got to make this project at some point in time. Maybe something that combines your love for sports and film.
Yeah, man. Well, I got the movie Free Agents, man, that's right now sitting over at Sony that we're trying to get made, and it's a bigger budget movie, so I can't make it myself right now. But It's these NFL players that rob banks. And it's the dopest script I've ever wrote. I think it's the flyest script in the world. And we're right here getting ready to make it, man. I think that's my superhero movie. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
think that's my heat. It's my town. It's the movie I want to make, and I've been wanting to make it for a long time, and now I'm very close to it. The other one I would say is I'm very blessed to be able to make Blackula with MGM and the people at Amazon and the executives over there. Man, I'm so excited about this movie because I love Blade. You know, we grew up on that. I love, what Ryan just did with Sinners. But to understand that the first ever Black horror movie, commercially successful and built, was Blackula. No, man, for that to land with me, that's like everything in me is like passionate about making sure that gets done correctly.
No, that's dope. That's dope. D, drop some advice for some of the guys who want to go to their next role, want to transition. What would you tell them? What can you leave them with?
My biggest piece of advice for anybody that's trying to make a move in whatever capacity, whatever space you might be in, you have to believe it, and you have to believe in it, or no one will believe in it. And you have to be prepared to believe it or believe in it when no one else in the world believes it. And that's a big statement, because that means you're going to have a lot of quiet nights, a lot of downs, a lot of falls, a lot of hurtful times, a lot of pain. But you got to get through that pain and got to get up every morning and be like, this is what I'm doing. And you got to know, man, you first generation. So it's not going to be easy. No one's going to come in and be like, yo, bro, you know what? You really got the thing. Let me give you the money. Bro, we still out here. It's still companies out here with as much as I've built, as much as I've done, as many people as knows us, as many people know how hard we love it, how much we love it, how hard we work. Man, you would be surprised. You still can't walk in a room and get a loan to make movies. You still can't go get oh man, I heard these 3 guys went over there and got $200 million and they just a startup company to make films. You'd be like, what? And they never made nothing? Yeah. And oh, by the way, these people just gave them $150 million. What did they do before? Nothing. So you got to know, man, this game is different. And you got to understand, stop looking over the fence. Run your own race. Don't worry about what they doing. Don't worry about what they getting. Stop being in everybody's business and just do you. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to be you in your bed with your family, bro, not all these people. So, yeah, run your own race.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. Before you go, D, I'm going to do a little rapid fire with you real quick. Ask you a couple questions. See what you think. All right. Bad Boys or Training Day?
Training Day.
Oh, founder of Uber or Airbnb?
Uber.
If you could play with one guy, Magic or Jordan?
Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. I'm from Chicago, bro. What is you talking about?
Okay, all right.
Greatest, man. MJ,
right,
bro. MJ all day.
All right, okay. I give you that. Coffee or energy drink?
I don't drink either, but I would do coffee.
Who wins the championship first, Pacers or Colts?
Wow. Pacers.
Okay. Would you rather have a championship making only $50 million or no championship and making $300 million? A championship making $50 million, no championship, $300 million. What is it going to be?
I like to win it all, because I go get the money. So give me the championship. I can use that and go get the rest of that money.
Okay. I like that. D, man, look, man, I appreciate you. I know you got to run. You got a million things to do. So, man, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming on Next Row.
Thank you. B, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for having me, man. Hopefully this worked out and it cuts well, man. But I appreciate you, brother, for giving me a platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man.
Okay, speak soon.
All right, D. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, look, that was $1 million conversation. I mean, it's hard to get people like that. I hope you love what you heard. I hope you take it all in. I hope you learn something from it. That was inspiration. I mean, it motivated me. Thank you. Let's get one round of applause. with Mr. Deon Taylor. See you again. Next roll.
Welcome to the next row.